Hello students, I welcome you to this session of refrigeration and air conditioning. In this lecture, I will discuss another psychrometric process whose name is cooling and dehumidification. Okay, now this process is mainly used in the air conditioner that is there. Okay, that is the window air conditioner or split air conditioner, as often you see, which is installed in your homes. Okay, in that air conditioners, the air is subjected to cooling and dehumidification process. Okay, so again, as you can see that we have a duct, right, where the air is flowing into the cooling coil, or you can say from here, from the left hand side, as you can see, the air is entering. Okay, and then it comes in contact with the cooling coil, which is maintained at temperature Ts. Okay, and then when the air comes in contact with the cooling coil, okay, then the temperature of the air also comes down, that is the dry bulb temperature also comes down, right. Along with, you have the decrease in the moisture content of the air. Okay, that is the removal of the moisture from the air is happening in this cooling coil. Okay, and finally the air which is leaving the cooling coil is living at condition T2, dry bulb temperature, wet bulb temperature as T2 dash. Okay, and finally the relative humidity is equal to phi2. Okay, right. Now the comfort condition for the human being, okay, at which you can say the most of the people feel comfortable, are dry bulb temperature equal to 25 degree Celsius plus minus 1 degree Celsius. Okay, and relative humidity phi, which varies between 50% plus minus 5%, that is 45% to 55%, the relative humidity in which the human being feels the most comfortable. And similarly the temperature variation is from 24 to 26 degree Celsius, where the human being feels the most comfortable. Okay, right. Now for the cooling process to take place, okay, using a cooling coil, the temperature of the cooling coil, that is Ts, should be less than the dry bulb temperature of the air that is entering into the duct, right. And similarly for the dehumidification to take place, okay, that is for the removal of moisture from the moist air, the Ts, that is the temperature of the cooling coil, should be less than the dew point temperature, okay, corresponding to dry bulb temperature at which the air is entering. Okay, then only the cooling and humidification both will take place, right. Now one important point is here, that the temperature Ts of the cooling coil is also called as the apparatus dew point. Okay, and the cooling coil is subjected is maintained at such a temperature that it will result in both the cooling and dehumidification. Okay, then the temperature, okay, corresponding to dew point is called as the apparatus dew point, right. So for cooling and humidification both to takes place, as you can see over here, Ts should be less than T1. Okay, and again Ts should also be less than dew point temperature. If this is the dry bulb temperature, this is the dew point temperature corresponding to point number 1. Okay, so the condition for the cooling and dehumidification becomes, the temperature of the cooling coil should be less than dew point temperature, okay, and which in turn should be less than the dry bulb temperature of the air, okay, which is entering into the duct, right. Okay, so I hope these points are clear to all of you now. Okay, let us now see how we can show this cooling and dehumidification process on a psychrometric chart. Okay, so as you can see, the black color denotes the outermost boundary of a psychrometric chart, right, Okay, and the air is entering at condition 1, as you can see over here. Okay, so this point is represented by point number 1. Okay, the drival temperature is T1, right? Imagine the condition that is there in the peak summer condition. Okay, you know that in the summer we have the temperature around 40 degrees Celsius or 45 degrees Celsius. Okay, with the relative humidity is also very less. Okay, so here as you can see over here that point number 1, we have the drival temperature is very high and relative humidity is low. Okay, right? When it is subjected to cooling and dehumidification. Okay, so dehumidification, as you can see over here, that at point number 1 we have the specific humidity equal to W1. Okay, and at point number 2, as you can see over here, okay, which is the final point, at point number 2 the specific humidity becomes low. Okay, as well as there is decrease in the uh, drival temperature from point number 1 to point number 2. Okay, so the final process line, this line 1 to 2, this is called as the process line. Okay, this is called as process line. Okay, the other name of this line is sensible heat factor line or condition line, whatever you may call. Okay, so this is the line which is connecting the initial condition, that is point number 1, with the final condition, which is point number 2, with a straight line. Okay, now this line 1 to 2, okay, as you can see, right, which is the process line, is assumed to have gone through the process vertically first from point number 1 to, let us say this is point number B. Okay, this is the dehumidification first, and then from B to 2, okay, this is the sensible cooling, right? Okay, so here as you can see, if you are removing the moisture from the air, then what you are doing, you are removing the latent heat from the air. Okay, and when you are doing the cooling of the air, then you are removing the sensible heat. Okay, so LH here from W1 to W2, this much amount of heat you are removing from the air, and this can be noted with the help of this enthalpy scale which are provided over here. Okay, so if I produce this point number B on an enthalpy diagram, okay, then the enthalpy at this point, okay, will become HB, and latent heat removal will be from H1 to HB. Okay, similarly, if I want to calculate the removal of sensible heat, then it will be SB to S2. Okay, which is from this one, HB to S2, right? Okay, so this is the total heat removal in case of the cooling and dehumidification, right? And finally we can calculate the sensible heat factor, right, which is the ratio of sensible heat removal divided by sensible heat plus latent heat or total heat removal. Okay, so this is how you can calculate the sensible heat factor also for this process. Okay, now let us look at what are the various changes that are occurring during this psychrometric process of cooling and dehumidification. Okay, so as you can see at point number 1, we have drival temperature T1, relative humidity phi1, specific humidity W1, okay, enthalpy H1, right, and similarly you can have the wet bulb temperature T1 also. Okay, so with the help of this number of properties, okay, either a combination of phi1 and T1, or either a combination of phi1 and W1, okay, or wet bulb temperature and phi1, okay, we can calculate, or sorry, we can locate the point number 1 on the psychrometric chart. Okay, and then when the air leaves the cooling coil, right, so you know that the coils are not perfectly efficient. Okay, there will be always some amount of air which will not come into contact with the cooling coil. Okay, if the perfect contact is there, that is if all the air comes into contact with the cooling coil, then we have gotten the point number 3. Okay, at this condition the air would have left the duct. Okay, right. So we were discussing about the properties of the cyclometric moisture. Okay, uh, changes in the cyclometric properties of moisture. So we have reduction in dry bulb temperature. W1 also comes out to W2. Again there is a reduction in specific humidity. H, the enthalpy of moisture at point number 1, this was of higher value, and enthalpy at point number 2, the value is somewhat less. Okay, so enthalpy also reduces. Okay, and then after that you have decrease in the specific volume. Okay, the specific volume, if you see the cyclometric chart, then the specific volume at point number 1 will be having the higher value, whereas specific volume at point number 2 will be having the lesser value. Okay, and relative humidity, if you see, then relative humidity at point number 1 is lesser value, whereas relative humidity at point number 2 is of higher value. Okay, right. So the bypass factor, okay, which is again, as I told in the previous lecture of sensible cooling, it is defined as the ratio of potential that is unutilized, okay, divided by the maximum potential that is available. Okay, so the maximum potential available is T1 minus T3. Okay, this much amount of potential was available. Okay, and the potential that was unutilized, okay, is equal to, that is equal to T2 minus T3. Right. Now T3 is also known as apparatus dew point. Okay, as I already told you, TS, T3 and ADP. Okay, right, these are called as the apparatus dew point. Okay, and finally the bypass factor becomes T2 minus T3 divided by T1 minus T3, and T3 is equal to ADP, apparatus dew point. So T2 minus ADP by T1 minus ADP. Right. Okay, and the value of bypass factor for the coil, okay, it varies between 0.05 to 0.2. Okay, right. Somewhere times it is nearly equal to, you can say the average value is equal to 0.15. Okay, right. So I hope this lecture on cooling and dehumidification is clear to all of you. Thank you for this lecture.